previously on the Sports Drive. Attention, Walmart shoppers! Attention, Walmart shoppers! I repeat, we got a loaded tick who's a Joe Biden supporter. He's ready to go all out for this next election season. Watch out! He has ratings, he has guns, and he has all bad assets known to man.
Josh, that is awful. Boy, I have to go to Walmart today, by the way, and do a little shopping.
Oh God!
Yes. Oh, come on.
Hey, Sean, aren't you going to vote for the Kennedy family as president again?
Be better than the guy that we got running it right now, ruining
it. Boys, I got
Ah.
one more thing to play right here.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a problem. We have a problem.
Yeah, we do.
There's a problem in New York, and there's a problem in L.A.
Yeah, they got to listen to you, Stephen A.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have problems. There is no way around this. There is no way to sugarcoat this. Based on two things that have transpired in the last 24 hours.
Pie and waterfall.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a problem. We have a problem. It's the big one.
Do you have a strudel problem, Stephen A?
First, the problem in New York City. Ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, jeez.
So that was from the Stephen A. Smith show. He actually has his own show besides First Take. He has a live nationally syndicated radio show / television show for ESPN nationally, all the radio markets around the world, and Bumblefuck. Anywhere you want to hear the radio, you can listen to Stephen A. Smith. And you can also see him on, you can watch him on ESPN News if you want to.
No. Going up, did you hear what I just said? No.
Yeah. Anyways, welcome to episode 215 of the Sports Drive. It is Thursday, April 25th today. We are in the precipice of some fun things going on this weekend because it is the 2019 NFL Draft, baby!
It's on 3 channels, hard to believe it's that big.
Already, the NFL Draft.
Hey, guys, it's the biggest thing going on in Tennessee in the last 20 years.
Well, Josh, why don't we go? I've been to Tennessee, so why don't we all take a trip to Tennessee sometime this summer? We could do that. We could all go to Elvis's thing in Graceland. We could all go to Memphis, Nashville.
I just said that, and knowing that the Predators were just in the Stanley Cup a couple years ago, right? How I totally forgot about that already.
Yeah, shame on you, boy. Shame on you, dude.
Well, at least football-wise is the biggest thing that happened in Tennessee the last 20 years. I'll never forget. I was 5 years old. The Super Bowl, the Titans played the St. Louis Rams at the time, and the Rams were the Titans were 1 yard short from clinching that Super Bowl, and it's been shit after that.
Well, I did go for the Titans against the Rams. Dyson was close, and of course I was Kurt Warner and the Rams were lucky.
I remember a good Titan moment that happened recently when the Titans smoked the Patriots in Tennessee last season.
They may have won, but the bottom line was the Pats got the last laugh.
Oh,
you
God,
right over the board. Yeah.
All right, let's do the intros really quick. I think we are going to be joined today by the Snowman. He said he has some. He told me and Browning he has some rants that he wants to get off his chest, so that should be.
Hurry up, Snowman!
Jeez, dude, Sean, don't scare me, dude. Yeah, dude, you're calling me to go deaf. Sean, don't call me to go deaf. I will sue.
Frank, too bad, so sad. I'll pay your bill. No, just kidding.
Okay, fine, dude. Hey, Sean, you want to pay my electric bill? That's fine.
How much money is that electric bill, Frank?
It's pretty cheap, dude. I'll tell you what, I'll let you slide on the other bills, but you can pay my electric.
By the way, anybody would like to give me a round trip flight for just 3 days? I'm not talking about a week or anything like that. I know that'd be expensive or anything, but a 3-day flight just for me to get out of the city and go to Orlando. That's all I need. I just need a flight for 3 days. I'm not looking for a week-long vacation or anything. I just need 3 days out of this hellhole. That's all I need.
Sure. Yeah, glowing up. My advice to you is I don't care where you go, just fly out of O'Hare. I mean, fly out of Midway. Avoid O'Hare at all costs.
I always know that when it comes to taking a vacation trip, you're always ready to get the heck out of Dodge. Get out of the place that you're at because you're ready to have time for yourself and go enjoy the time.
I need alone time.
But Josh, you enjoyed going to Orlando, and then remember, you also went to California, wasn't it, for WrestleMania too? I remember that. Yes, that's
I went to Santa Clara.
Oh,
yeah, the Bay Area. So this is what I did out there. So they had WrestleMania in Santa Clara where the 69ers play.
Right.
So I went to go check out that stadium the day of WrestleMania. I didn't drive, but like my share rider, it wasn't called Uber or Lyft at that time, but they drove me past where the Raiders played, so I did get to see the black hole. It is a shithole. I'm sorry, that's a terrible
that's your opinion.
That's a terrible looking place, man. Also, I also went past the San Francisco Bridge, which is also
Golden Gate Bridge.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the Golden Gate Bridge. You know, I actually would like to see San Francisco one day. I would like to see Alcatraz Island and go on one of the what's that thing called? The car or something like that? The
cable car.
Yes, the cable car. That's right.
You know what I think of when I see that big ass bridge? One of my favorite shows as a kid. Anywhere you go,
yeah.
Hey,
let me explain. The first time I went to San Francisco was in August of 1992. It was a family vacation, but this was a long story. We didn't pay for it. That's a whole story within itself. I will say this: we got a Mercedes-Benz and got to stay at the Mark Hopkins Hotel, which is one of San Francisco's most luxurious hotels. But I got to tell you this: I thought I was going to meet the cast of Full House. I literally did. I went to San Francisco thinking, man, can I meet Uncle Jesse and Uncle Joey and everybody? By the way, I got to tell you something. Isn't Aunt Becky in a world of trouble these days?
We don't need to get into that right now.
Let's riff Aunt Becky, dude.
I swear, maybe Brownie, you got to refresh since you can't hear Frank. Gosh, you know, I got to tell you, I miss the 90s. I mean, boy, what a fun time that was. The Full House was big, and of course, Home Improvement, Saved by the Bell. I always enjoy Saved by the Bell. And of course, the classical show called Whose Line Is It Anyway? Yeah.
And the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yep. And Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? I used to watch that in the late 90s.
Hey, you know what? My sister's favorite show, actually.
Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
My sister, I can tell you this. My sister's favorite show used to come on after Fresh Prince. My sister was a huge Blossom fan.
By the way, we're 10 minutes into the show, and I have yet to even introduce the cast and crew of the damn show already.
Do it, dude. Come on.
It's 8:09 a.m. here on a beautiful day in Coeur d'Alene. Oh.
I can't believe that's an actual name for a city, by the way.
It's a nice area. Get your potatoes, get your spuds out here. There's all kinds of stuff you can get. Yeah, and do.
Introducing first from Blue Bubble Bee, Kentucky. This young man, you may see him this Monday night on Raw. He is the Brownie Master. He is the Bully Master as well. Here's the one and only Andrew Browning.
More like bumpers bowling.
And then what's going on, you guys? Shout out to my boy Chucky Soon, the Mr. Sabotrain himself, and coming to the show today.
What up, Chuck E. Cheese Smooth?
Yeah, what up, Chuck E. Cheese Smooth? Lovely.
Yeah, boy.
Geez, Sean.
Hey, man, I'm telling you, man, PTW is doing you a disservice, man. You should be working for that company right now.
And the Kentucky Derby's coming up, Browning. Get us our tickets for Kentucky Derby time.
You wouldn't catch me. You would catch me dead staying by a bunch of pretentious rich assholes watching horses run for 2 minutes.
Hey, is it just me? Wait a minute. Is it just me, or does Aaron Rodgers go to the Derby every year?
Yeah, he's the personification of pretentious.
Yeah, exactly. Doesn't Aaron Rodgers have a life that involves not going to the Derby?
Yeah, people like Aaron Rodgers and Jay Cutler. I'm sure Tom Brady will be there too.
Oh yeah, he was there 1 year.
Well, yeah, if we go, you can cover.
Look at me in my stupid ass hat.
And down the stretch they come.
And And out come the chins they go. All right, introducing next from Blue Bumblebee, Indiana, but he's a product of the state of Illinois. This young man is getting ready to fire up the Lex Express again, man. They're gonna bring it back for Throwback Thursday for your old school WWE fans.
Yeah, me one of them.
This young man is a Beavis and Butthead fan. This young man loves celebrity deathmatch just like I do. He is a connoisseur of South Park and all terrestrial activities out there. He is the big bag of win. Gale Force Win himself. Oh, I forgot a couple things as well. He is a Cubs fan with respect to the White Sox.
Of course.
And he's a Bears fan and a Bulls fan. He is the one and only Frank Spranko.
You forgot, dude. Shame on you. I'm a Blackhawks fan as well.
And a Blackhawks fan.
Yeah, boy. That's a good one. Speaking of South Park, why don't they have new episodes? Honestly, it seems like they come off new episodes every fall, but then when the spring comes, it's like they shut it down for the year.
I don't know. No idea. I want Celebrity Deathmatch to come back.
Call MTV, dude. Call MTV up.
I'll be the announcer. Oh, there you go. It took 10 years, but Justin Bieber finally got his fucking head chopped off. Can't stand Justin Bieber.
Wait a minute, wasn't he at one of the playoff games? He was at one of the Stanley Cup playoff games. I think it was
Justin Bieber and his wife.
He was at the Bruins game.
Yes, they were at the I think he had a Leafs jersey on.
That makes it worse.
I said, Justin Bieber, I said, enjoy cheering for your Leafs because it ends tonight. You'll be in the House of Horrors. And, of course, that happened a few days ago.
Sean, I'm going to make your day. Sean, I'm about to make your day. I honestly think you could kick Justin Bieber's butt, literally.
Well, thank you.
And unfortunately for the rest of the sports drive humanity, the Boston Bruins are still alive in the NFL playoffs.
That's right. Look at that jersey. I mean, tonight they're playing the Blue Jackets. I'll be ready for that game, by the way. Yeah.
Last introduction, and here we go. This young man is a driver for all the strip clubs in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho.
Oh, my God.
This young man is the biggest fever pitch fan you'll ever see in your entire life. He is the Walmart boy, Sean Man.
Yeah, boy.
Here. Welcome everybody to the Sports Drive. It's Thursday, April 25th, 2019, 11:13 a.m. on the East Coast, 8:13 a.m. on the West. And if you live in the Central, figure that out for yourself.
Attention, Walmart.
Glad to be here as usual. Yes, that's right. I got the Bruins gear on. Big game tonight. I'm looking forward to seeing them win. And the Celtics are on the next round as well. And I think that Snowman is probably having a rant. He's going to be ready to come in if he does, because his Warriors lost to the Clippers last night, which probably got him upset.
Anybody says that the Warriors are a better dynasty than the Bulls, you're just smoking crack at this point. There's no shot in hell that's even possible.
You know what?
The Bulls. Hold up. The Bulls would not give up a 3-0 lead to the Cleveland Cadabers, okay, in the NBA Finals.
Well, they would say, well, come on, Josh. They won the championship in 2015 and 2017 and 2018, awesome. And they got a shot.
Hey, the Bulls never lost to the finals. How about that?
That's good. Josh and Frank could even hit me and say, John, your Celtics did lose a few finals here and there. I know, Magic's Lakers. I understand. I always have to be.
What happened when the Lakers? Here's my thought: when the Lakers and the Celtics were redoing their rivalry, like a decade ago or whatever.
Right. It was 10 years ago. 10 years ago.
That was the best.
It was basically the NBA wanted to revert to the past, so they did everything they can to get the Lakers and the Celtics to be in those finals.
It was great. I loved it. I mean, you felt like you were in a time machine and you were living in the decade of the 19th.
And by the way, how about the worst NBA finals of all time? The Lakers at the Magic. Oh God!
I went for Orlando, but I didn't even watch. The bad news was I was in Anaheim. I went to Disneyland with my family, and people were. I was like, great, I got to be in here and listen to these Laker fans.
Growing up, I thought the worst finals was anytime Cleveland and Golden State played each other.
Oh, that's by default. That just been an easy answer for me to say.
What was worse about it is that everybody compared Cleveland, Golden State to Boston, LA from the 80s.
No.
I'm like saying nobody will ever compare or even be close to the Celtics Lakers.
No.
Hey, Sean, I got a question for you. Are you shooting Happy Madison too?
No, I'm not.
That's a good question. Are you? That's a good question.
No, I'm not.
You're gonna bring Bob Uecker, not Bob Uecker.
Bob Uecker.
No, I'm trying. Bob Barker. There you go. He's gonna bring Bob Barker out to play golf.
The price is.
I actually seen Bob Barker live at a Monday Night Raw when he hosted the show.
He did hosted it one time. You're right. Oh yeah, that's right. He was in Chicago for that.
And AJ Pierzynski was at that show too.
I didn't know that. That I didn't know. I know Bob Barker hosted it, or was part of the host.
Yeah, man.
Hey, Frank, do we have somebody else we need to bring in?
Oh yeah, dude. Thanks for reminding me. We got to get this show moving, dude.
Yep.
Okay. The following intro is scheduled for anything but one fall.
One fall.
Indeed, one fall, and it is not so phenomenal. Introducing a guy who is a man of all men. At least on this show, he is. He is the gluey hump, Josh Lopez. That good?
I put my hands out like this, like Shane McMahon when he gets introduced as the best in the world.
Oh yeah, Shane's matches are barbaric.
Drinking in, man. All right, boys. I guess we should get into our rants, but I do want to say today we should be focusing on the NFL draft before the bash shower today, and maybe we'll have enough time to sneak in a couple topics about the NBA or NHL playoffs, but no guarantees on that. But tonight is the NHL, not the intro, but the NFL draft. I'm excited for football to come back. So I'm really excited for that, despite the fact the Bears don't have a first or second round pick this year. We'll see what happens. It should be an interesting night.
Yeah, should. Then tomorrow night and Saturday, don't forget those days.
And don't be surprised if the Patriots find Tom Brady's replacement tonight at the draft.
Oh, yeah. I'll be ready for it to continue on with more Patriot championship tradition after Brady retires. Yeah.
And then
okay. All right.
Who wants to go first?
Opening rants. I'll go first because mine's is short. I really don't have much to rant about, so I'll make this quick, right? My opening rant is pretty simple from a sports tip. Anybody who thinks that Deshaun Watson is ahead of Mitch Trubisky right now as far as their careers are concerned are on crack.
Say what?
I'm saying that right now. I don't care what anybody says. I get it. Deshaun Watson was the flavor of the month for winning those titles at Clemson. And yes, he has DeAndre Hopkins to bail him out all the time for the Houston Texans. But he is not better than Mitch Trubisky. He sure as hell's not. Think about this. If you looked at the playoff performances they had this past season, for their first playoff games, Deshaun Watson looked like a backup quarterback playing against the Colts, and Mitch brought the Bears to the position to beat the Eagles in his first playoff game. I don't want to hear it. Mitch Trubisky is way ahead of Deshaun Watson, and anybody that's already putting Patrick Mahomes in the Hall of Fame, you can go fuck yourself.
Deshaun Watson's still in the NFL? I didn't know that.
Well, that's kind of harsh. I should say go fuck yourself, but my bigger point is, how do you know that Mahomes won't have a sophomore slump? Everybody's already, he's going to have 50 touchdowns every season. Oh, Mahomes is the greatest thing ever. I literally heard on the NFL Network show, I forgot who it was because I was so flabbergasted by hearing this saying. Somebody said and had the audacity, the unmitigated goal, the utter stupidity to say that Patrick Mahomes will be the next Joe Montana. Really? The next Joe Montana?
Well, we're going a little too far here. We're going a little too far.
Yeah.
God damn, man.
Patrick Mahomes can't beat Tom Brady.
Take Tyreek Hill out of the Chiefs offense once he gets credit for all his nonsense with abusing a kid. Then we'll see who the real Patrick Mahomes is. Okay.
And the Chiefs are still hit with playoff misery because they haven't. Remember, the Chiefs haven't won since Super Bowl IV. That was when they beat the Minnesota Vikings.
All right, who wants to go next?
May I go?
Yes.
May I go?
Yes.
All right, I gotta get these three rants out of the way. The first one, of course, is this. Well, as you all know, I'm not a big Kate Smith fan. And I guess you all have probably heard about something that happened from you see, this is what I dislike the most, okay? Why are we learning about all the things that happened from yesterday with allegations? It makes me so sick. I mean, Kate Smith is an American patriotic singer from yesteryear, but apparently they are upset because she said some comments about the issue of race. Now, if it's true, that was not right at all because racial tensions are definitely back on the rise. And of course, especially even the racial slurs, okay? And that's why I'm being very careful with this, okay, to the African Americans, okay? But I'm a little bit upset that we're learning about all this stuff now. I mean, the family is all upset because you guys heard, didn't you, that during the seventh inning stretch that especially the team I do not like, the Yankees, got rid of the God Bless America by Kate Smith. And then Philadelphia Flyers, they just put they put a blanket of the statue of Kate Smith. It's pretty sad about how we have to hear about all this stuff. I mean, I've always said it before. Why are we always learning about stuff that happened from a long time ago? Couldn't we have handled this a long time ago instead of
really?
I mean, seriously. I mean, I'm not trying to be rude and stuff and disrespectful because if Kate Smith did in fact say what she said about the issue of racism, then shame on you, Kate Smith, for what you did. You should never have said that in the first place.
Correct.
But I do disagree that we're learning a lot about that, about the stuff that's coming out
really?
now. It's like, good grief. Come on, peeps.
I agree.
Yeah.
I know. I agree with you. I agree with you, Jabroni.
And then here's another thing that happened. I mean, that's just me, so I want to keep it professional because I don't want to say something that'll upset African Americans saying, John, how could you say that? Don't be – I mean, I understand. Just got to be careful with how you address that. Another thing I was upset about is the Phillies and the Mets played their game last night, okay, and Hoskins homered off reliever Jacob Ram and taunted him with the slow jog around the bases. You know, I think that's unclassy too because it's like, okay, you hit a home run, but you don't need to go taunt a relieving pitcher. The Phillies won 6-0 against the Mets last night. Just round the bases because you hit the home run. And, you know, you need to – come on, people. Seriously, enjoy the game, players. And then the bat flips are a little bit out of hand too. You know, come on, enjoy it. I mean, you just hit a home run, you know, and then you're going to taunt the reliever of the Mets. Okay, the Mets are having a bad night. They got shut out 6-0. And then the other final part of my rant is this. Jake DeBrusk just told us that both he and his family members received death threats, too many to count, from Maple Leaf fans throughout their series with Toronto. Said there were too many to report. Now, don't we think, gentlemen, that is really, really out of hand? I mean, seriously. I mean, I've seen players that have gotten threatened by fans. I've seen fans that have threatened each other. There's no call for that at all. I mean, come on. I mean, seriously, enjoy the game, and you're going to threaten. I mean, I don't care. I mean, even if I was a Bruin fan and I heard Bruin fans doing that to a player, I wouldn't like it either. I think it's stupid.
Yeah, it is. That's criminal.
I mean, death threats.
I said it's criminal.
Yeah, I hope they catch these people that did that because that's not right at all to be able to do death threats. I mean, I feel bad about what happened with Adam Jones. I was ashamed when Red Sox fans did racial slurs to Adam Jones because that was in May of 2017. And then there were Blue Jay fans that did racial slurs too. I'm like, come on, people. I mean, that's why I kind of miss the decade of the 90s the most because we could all learn to be respectful and kind and united and treat people with respect. We got too much anger in this world, and people are so super sensitive.
Yeah, but that doesn't reflect all the Red Sox and Blue Jay fans.
I know, bud. It's just
you can't just say they're all racist. You can't say the Red Sox and Blue Jay fans are racist. There's some bad apples out there, I'll admit, but it's not like they were chanting. It's not like the entire ballpark was chanting racial slurs.
It just is disappointing that we have to live in this world, Frank, where people, people are so super sensitive. People making little issues into big issues. People getting treated just bad all around. I mean, it's like, let's be respectful and kind to one another. And it seems like all of that is gone these days. It seems like it really, really is, where people are not being nice to each other. So go to a game and enjoy. I mean, usually when I watch a game, my mind is off of work. My mind is off of everything. I'm just enjoying the game as a fan, and that's what you do. I mean, and probably it wouldn't surprise me that alcohol is involved with all of this, with all the threats. I mean, think about what happened 15 years ago when Ron Artest, who's now named Meta World Peace, jumped into the stands against the Detroit Pistons, and that fight happened and the brawl in the Palace.
Wait, that was 15 years ago? Hold on, that was 15 years ago? That was a long time ago.
15 years in November. It was a Friday night, and I'll never forget that. And I was like, oh my gosh. I couldn't believe it. But anyway, those are my rants. I mean, be respectful. That's mine.
Ron Artest, geez, I don't call him that name. I call him Ron Artest.
And then
what?
Meta World Peace. That was
his name is Ron Artest. I don't care what he calls himself.
Ronnie, you're up next.
It's like I don't call Bruce. I call
some reason I can hear Frank, but I can hear Josh and Sean for some reason.
Oh, you don't want to hear them, dude. You don't want to hear them, jabroni. I don't even want to hear them.
It's just my end.
That's probably
you got some weird headphones.
That's probably you, dude. Probably you.
Browning's got a rant.
How do you know?
No, that was it. That was it, because I was just, it's really not anything. It was just that, whatever. But this Monday night Raw Rupp Arena, I cannot wait.
Who are you going to boo at the show?
Baron Corbin.
I knew you were going to say that. Baron Corbin. He's pissing everybody off. I love it.
I used to boo, during the Attitude Era, I used to boo faces, actually, when I was at WWF events.
Did he boo Steve Blackman?
No, I didn't boo. I'll tell you this, though. I did boo The Rock when he was a face. You gotta understand, growing up, I was a huge Triple H fan at the time.
Mm-hmm. I know you're Joe. Build somebody up to bring somebody down. I get it. Let's see. Who else is going to be there? Oh, will you boo The Miz? He's going to be there. No? This dude, I know you didn't see it. I know you didn't see it this week, Frank, but there was "Let's Go Miz" chants. That's something I never thought I would hear in my life.
Yeah.
The one guy I would heavily boo. The one guy I would heavily boo. I just don't like him. I'm not a Cena fan. Yeah, dude. Hey, Cena, your time is up.
Sean, I know you love John Cena because he's all Boston.
Oh yeah. There you go. Of course. John Cena, yeah.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, you, John Cena.
Mark Wahlberg, they're all Boston too. I saw, what was it? Donnie Wahlberg was at the Celtic Pacer game Friday night.
Ben Affleck too.
Ben Affleck and Matt Damon. Oh yeah.
Wait a minute. Isn't Donnie Wahlberg so 1991?
Anytime I hear Ben Affleck, I just want to do the Affleck thing. Affleck.
I heard that Ben Affleck and Jennifer Gardner got together for Easter, which was pretty cool. They got together and spent time together.
Oh, cute. What do you
mean? What's the matter with Ben Affleck? Remember, he was in Pearl Harbor. Remember the movie Pearl Harbor that came out? Yeah.
Yes, but that was all true. We know that.
That was my first introduction into Waterfall.
Glory hope the stories you could tell us.
Kate Beckinsale, man, that girl's still hot. Holy shit!
Gosh, oh my gosh! And every time we come back,
she could be 55 years old and she'd still be hot.
I don't know. Kate Hudson's a good one. She's a good actress. Kate Hudson. Yeah.
All right. Let's see who else has duress. Frank, you're up next. Go ahead.
Not much. Yes, from a sports rant, the Cubs won. It was a great win last night with Javi's homer and Hayward's homer. Oh, you know what? Hey, Glenn, you're going to love this one.
Okay.
From the gym, and I got to tell you, there's some songs that you just love to hear when they come on the radio, and I like two stations in particular, The Drive and WLS 94.7.
Drive.
Let it drive. Yeah, that's a good song, BTO. But you know what? I heard Petty's Free Fallin' coming home.
Nice.
Exactly.
So it's interesting. This year's the 30th anniversary.
It is
of Free Fallin'.
Well, yeah, because that was on the Full Moon Fever soundtrack, which came out, I would like to say, in the spring of 1989. I know it came out sometime in '89. Full Moon Fever. Let me look it up. Full Moon Fever, because
my favorite song from that album.
Okay, Glory, hold on, Glory, go ahead, Glory, because I want to say this. The release date, I just looked it up. The release date to Full Moon Fever was actually 30 years ago yesterday.
Oh, it was yesterday.
April 24th, 1989. So Full Moon Fever came out 30 years and a day ago.
You know what? Coming up this weekend, for those who follow me on Instagram at the Hoots Podcast, I've been uploading a lot of guitar covers. I've been playing a lot of different songs recently and putting it up on Instagram. So for this weekend, to honor the 30th anniversary of this album, I'm going to be playing a bunch of songs from that album on my Instagram page.
What's your favorite one, Glory Hump? Your favorite?
My favorite was because the reason this is my favorite song from the album because that's the first song I learned on the guitar. It's called "A Face in the Crowd."
You know, I just like the guitar intro to Free Falling. It just sounds relaxing.
Yep,
I like it.
30 years of Tom Petty, man. Yeah, I definitely got to do those covers this weekend. By the way, Free Fall is one of the easiest songs to play on the guitar. Yes, sir.
Hey, but you know what? Go ahead. I was gonna say the music video to Running Down a Dream is awesome.
Another easy one.
Rest in peace, Tom Petty.
I can see a gopher running to that type of song. Maybe a gopher from Caddyshack would jam out to that song.
Hey, you know what? Caddyshack is such a great golf movie. That movie has got class and tradition. I mean, I don't ever get tired of watching Caddyshack.
You know, things start losing class and tradition when you keep applying that term to it, you know?
Oh, goodness. Woohoo!
All right, let's jump in. Let's get to the NFL draft before we get to the top of the hour because we do have a nice, fresh edition of the Skippy Bayless Bash Shower for the Walmart board today.
Oh, no. Jeez, here we go again.
Sean,
I say such a thing.
Sean, just be a man about it, dude.
All right. Let me ask. We never really did a mock draft as far as this show's goes. We never did it on Sports World Radio. We never did it on here.
You can't do a mock draft. And here's why. What about trades?
Yeah, that's a good point.
You can't predict trades. It's just as tough. Doing a mock draft in the first round is just as tough as doing a perfect NCAA bracket.
Yeah, and I'll be totally upfront with you guys. Like, I'm not as big of a college football fan as other people are, so I don't know everybody who's the real top prospects and this and that. So there's a couple guys that stand out here and there. Everybody's talking about this whole situation with the Cardinals and whether or not they'll trade Josh Rosen just for Kyler Murray.
Rosen.
By the way, I think Arizona is starting to reach Cleveland Brown territory as far as how dysfunctional they are.
I agree.
How the hell do you fire a coach after his first season and also trade your quarterback that you traded up to get to last season just to get another guy the following season? And by the way, that general manager who's making all these decisions also got arrested last season, if anybody forgot, Mr. Steve Keim.
Yeah, he did. I do recall because I had to log those stories last year around.
Well, remember, Josh, if you don't, it's about the W's and the L's. If a coach doesn't get the wins and gets the L's, you're out. You're gone.
You're fired.
Yeah.
We need to have that soundbite, by the way. We need to get a Vince McMahon, you're fired soundbite.
Look what happened with Pete Carroll one year. Pete Carroll got fired after 1 year with the 6-10 record after the '94 season. So you got to remember that the owners want wins. They want them now. They don't want failure.
My favorite line from Vince McMahon is "Shut up."
Oh yes, of course.
Well, how would you feel, Josh, if you were a coach and you got fired after 1 year, Josh? Yeah.
Wait, I can explain that.
Putting foot up a lot of people's ass.
Wait a minute. I can explain that. Hey, Sean, I can explain. Say somebody fired me after a year, and I signed a contract to make like $10 million a year for 5 years. That means I make $50 million. Okay, fine. You fired me. That means I get to sit on my butt doing nothing for the next 4 years and making $10 million. Hey, that's
all right. So if you're not rich and you want to watch the NFL draft, you can watch it on ABC. If you are rich and you have the ability to have all the networks on your cable package, you can watch it on the NFL Network or on other ESPN platforms.
I have the NFL Network. Wait, Glowing Up. You could just go listen. Glowing Up. There are ways to stream the NFL Network on the internet.
Yes, I understand it. Tonight they got the NFL Network in Nashville, Tennessee over the weekend. This obviously will conclude on Saturday. I kind of like it this way where they do the NFL draft. They start tonight and then end it on Saturday instead of doing it on Sunday because everybody wants to focus on the playoffs or just relaxing on a Sunday. So I like how the NFL does it this way.
Yeah, I do too. By
the way, I missed having the NFL draft here those 2 years. That was awesome. I will never forget how hectic it was in 2015 when they did the first draft here because I was still doing my radio show downtown for ChicagoLandSportsRadio.com when I was still in school. And it was crazy because literally where they did the NFL draft at the auditorium in downtown Chicago, it's literally a block and a half away from where I went to broadcasting school. So they got cop carts all over the place. They got banners. You see this big ass area they set up in Grant Park and stuff. It was something to behold. I'll say that. Frank, did you end up getting to see any?
And let me just. I was there. I was there in 2016, Glowing Up, which was the second year. My dad, of course, had retired the fall before 2015, and I didn't get to go out to the draft in 2015. He had a busy schedule. I had a busy schedule. So we took Metro, very convenient because it stops right at Grant Park. Right, actually, we got off at the Millennium Park Station. And I'll say that Chicago did a terrific job. We didn't go literally to the draft. It was on the Friday of the draft in 2016, later rounds. But I like just seeing the sites, all the exhibits. The Lombardi Trophy was there. They had various shops. They had games. Chicago did an awesome job. I hope it comes back at some point. Chicago deserves it.
I know Chicago's going to have some type of NFL setup the week of when they play the Packers to celebrate their centennial season. I know they're like going all out and have some big event in Grant Park, so I might have to check that out or something. You know what, Frank? We should go to the opening game, by the way, but I'm pretty sure it's a lot of money.
Glowing Up. I already looked it up, dude. It's okay, I'll tell you what. Let me go on StubHub now. I'm telling you, this is probably going to be one of the more expensive tickets in Bears history for an opener. Here, let me look it up. Okay, hold on. Glowing Up. Wait for it. I'm coming up with it. Okay, here it is. Okay, Glowing Up. This is on StubHub now. The cheapest ticket I could find, and this is in the Upper Bowl on the west end of Soldier Field. You and I have been there. $325.
Wow.
$325. And if you want to sit in the club level, it's actually $1,135.
Oh man.
Yeah,
you know what? I'll replace Jeff Joniak and I go to that motherfucker free. All right. How about that?
I know the game that you both could go to.
I will replace Jeff Joniak.
Dude, you know what I'll do? Hold on. I'll replace you. Go on. Oh, Sean, hold on. You know what I'll do? I'll be Stanley for that game. Dude, I'll go on Stanley. Let me be Stanley for that game.
Go ahead, Sean. I'm sorry.
go to the game in December, like you guys talked about last week, which is Dallas at Chicago. I'm sure you'd like to see. Right. I'm sure you'd like to see Jerry Jones in a box seat, or have Jerry Jones shake your hand.
No, I don't want to. I don't want to even look at Dak Prescott. Why the hell would I want to look at Jerry Jones?
Sean, let me tell you this. I was at the Bears-Cowboys Monday night game in December of 2013 when Mike Dick had his number retired. I was at that game. It was 2 above 0, 8 below wind chill. Do you think I was looking for Jerry Jones? I mean, Jerry Jones, you couldn't Sean, do you think I was looking for Jerry Jones that night? No. Hey, where's Jerry Jones at? Where's Jerry Jones? You think I'm looking for Jerry Jones?
I think you'd want to give Jerry Jones a hug when Cowboys aren't.
There's one guarantee that'll happen that night. No matter what's going out, it doesn't matter what's happening. Jason Garrett will be clapping his hands, whether he's getting blown out or winning. That's all he does. After every play, he's just clapping his hands the entire time. I've never seen a coach do that in my life.
Well, he's happy because he's won 2 playoff games. I mean, you got to give him a credit for the Cowboys.
How about 1 Super Bowl appearance? How about that? How does he still have a job?
Well, he was lucky because he was under fire, but then Jason Garrett was able to keep his job. And
Jerry's supposed to be under fire. I get easy up there. You can't fire that out there.
You have to remember when you're the coach and Jerry Jones is on you, you got to step up. Otherwise, Jerry Jones will put you in your place.
In my place? What do you mean by that, Sean?
Meaning that, hey, you better start winning, and you're going to be fired after the end of this season. So start winning.
Fired.
Let's get this. I'm going to read off the order for the first round. That's okay. I'm not going to do all the rounds. Obviously, we don't have enough time to do that.
Dude, I'm not Mel Kiper, by the way. I can't go into the draft like he does.
With the first pick in the 2019 NFL Draft, Arizona Cardinals will be number 1, 49ers 2, Jets 3, Raiders 4, Bucks 5, Giants 6, Jaguars 7, the Nittany Lions 8, Buffalo Bills 9, Broncos 10, Bengals 11, Packers 12. Packers had 2 first-round picks this year, unfortunately. Dolphins 13, Falcons 14, Washington team 15, Panthers 16, Giants. They also had 2 first-round picks because they decided to trade Odell Beckham Jr. to the Cleveland Browns like a bunch of idiots. So they Giants are up at 17, 18. Vikings, Sean's favorite teams.
Stop it.
The whole city team. Tennessee Titans are at 19. Steelers 20. West will be disappointed with his pick.
Don't care about West.
Don't do it yet. 21 Seahawks. Another one of Sean's seats. My favorite AFC team, the Baltimore Ravens. 23 Houston Texans. 24, the Bears should be picking here, but we'll be watching Khalil Mack highlights. 24, the Raiders are picking there. Eagles, 25. Colts, 26. Raiders at 27 for the Amari Cooper trade. Los Angeles Chargers, 28. Seahawks, again, 29. 30 Packers, 31 Rams, and wrapping it up with the reigning, defending, undisputed, universal Super Bowl champions.
Don't say, oh my, don't. Hey, Glory Hump, you forgot to say something. Glory Hump, you forgot to say something. Subject to trades. You forgot to mention.
All NFL trades are subject to change, just like any wrestling shows are.
Of course. The card is always subject to change.
Yes.
Yeah, the New England Patriots at number 32. Isn't that great?
What? All right, so let me ask you guys, like, what are you looking forward to tonight? It doesn't have to be specifically about your particular teams, but like, what teams are you excited for to see what they do tonight? I mean, we have like 3 or 4 teams that have multiple first-round picks tonight. I know a lot of people are talking about the Raiders because they have 3, but there's a lot of things to talk about here. Like, what are you guys excited for tonight? Is there a player you're looking forward to seeing? Who's going where? Is it the Kyler Murray stuff? Like, what's catching your guys' eye for tonight?
Oakland. That's what I'm looking forward to. You mentioned the Raiders, and here's why. Because they have so many first-round picks. They got the Bears' first-round pick, the Cowboys' first-round pick. And I always watch the NFL Network's coverage. Mike Mayock obviously knows everything about the draft, or so it seems. But now get this, Mike Mayock is firing basically the entire Raiders scouting department as the general manager. I'm just curious to see, with Mayock and Gruden together, and these being interesting times for the Raiders, getting ready to move to Las Vegas, what are they going to do with all these picks? That's what, and being that Mayock was a draft expert in terms of his knowledge of it, how is he going to bring that as a general manager? That's what I'm looking forward to the most.
By the way, not NFL related. You know how I mentioned about waterfall? My favorite type of waterfall is the Saudi waterfall. It's the most pure water known to man.
Water is good for you.
And by the way, water, broadcasters' best friends.
It is. It's
well, for me,
milk, it does a body good.
Oh, for me.
Go ahead, Sean.
Oh, that's a good point there, Frank. Didn't want to interrupt you, bud. Sorry.
No,
I agree with Frank, too, that I think the Raiders are definitely going to be clear winners because they got a lot of good draft picks.
I'm not saying they're going to be winners. I'm just looking forward to seeing what they're going to do. I'm not saying they're going to be winners. Definitely.
Well, you know what? With John Gruden going back to the Raiders, that was the best decision the Raiders organization made. I mean, Gruden was happy about it, fired up about it. I mean, he started something, and the Raiders became that just dominant team from the late 90s to the early 2000s. I mean, they've had to go through numerous coaching changes. Think about it: Jack Del Rio, Art Shell, the list goes on. I mean, the Raiders are big. And I think the other team that really needs to make good picks would be the team, which is a team that hasn't been to the playoffs since the 2010 AFC Championship game, and that would be the Jets. You know, what are the Jets going to do? I mean, how are they going to be looking when this season goes? And, of course, for the Patriots, I hopefully will be expecting here that they drafted another quarterback, because you are right. I mean, Brady's going to be retiring in a few years. And the Pats do need another quarterback, pending on what happens with the NFL lockout. One of my uncles believes that the NFL will be headed to a lockout in a few years because, I mean, I've already read an article that the owners are already prepared to possibly go on strike. So if you're going to make these moves, it's a good thing you're doing it now. I think a loser tonight will be the Packers. I mean, okay, big deal. I mean, you know, like Josh said, unfortunately, the Packers, I agree with what Josh even said last Thursday. The Packers are a team that do not even deserve to be playing those primetime games because Aaron Rodgers is on the decline, gentlemen. And breaking news, by the way. Ready?
Oh,
all right, hey, Wes, this is for you. Big Ben Roethlisberger gets a 2-year extension. The deal is worth $68 million for Ben
Roethlisberger. Wait! Isn't he on the downside himself?
I think so, but he's going back.
Hold on, wait a minute.
Time out.
You mean to tell me they're giving the rapist $68 million?
Dude,
$68 million for 2 years.
Hey,
what you say?
Hey, you know what the saying is? Pittsburgh will always be Pittsburgh, just as sleazy as Ohio.
Well, you know what Wes will probably be saying?
Sure. Sean, how many times does I tell you, as much as I wish good health for Wes, I don't care about Wes.
Well, when Wes would say, Wes was on the show right now, Wes would say, okay, Penguins got swept. Guess what, people? The Pittsburgh Pirates are going to the World Series this year. We are family.
No. Sean, they're not going to the World Series.
Snowman, you guys think the same, my man?
It's not this year.
You there, Snowman?
I think he's frozen.
Please stand by. We're experieing technical difficulties.
Now, do you guys like the deal with Ben Roethlisberger? It's a 2-year deal worth
He should retire. He should retire.
I don't believe this. Dude, who in here? Let me ask you this: who in here agrees with me that the Pittsburgh Steelers are making a huge mistake? I'm not kidding. I
agree.
I don't get what Ben Roethlisberger has over the Steelers. Like, does he know something that we don't know? Like, is there like hidden pictures that the owners are trying to hide? Does Ben know where the bodies are lied? Like, I don't get it. Why would you give a rapist $68 million? Hey, I'm calling a spade, Frank. This is a non-PC show. I don't give a fuck. We're talking about truth here. Ben Roethlisberger is an asshole. I don't care.
Come on, Josh. He's got 2 Super Bowl championships.
Sean, shut the fuck. Sean, shut the fuck up, because with the teams that you like, they don't know about winning championships fair anyway. Okay, just ask the New England Patriots. All right, kiss the back. The way I'm feeling right now, Sean, the way I'm feeling right now, which is a little bit ornery, you can kiss the back of my fat ass, all right? I don't like the Patriots. I don't like the Bruins. I don't like the fucking Red Sox because they don't know how to win championships fairly. And I know y'all are getting a kick out of this. I got to get this out. Okay? Okay. Now, since I have a few minutes before I have to go pick up my lady, let me get this rant off my chest. Josh, if you'll allow me a few minutes here.
Yes, go ahead, Stomach.
Okay. All right. I only touched on a rant against a network that I totally fucking hate, and it's got 4 letters. I'm going to add a network to that, and that's Fox Sports. Okay? These 2 networks, oh yeah, you're going to love this one, Sean. These 2 networks are the most politically charged networks I have ever heard in my life. Somehow ESPN lost its identity with sports and decided to get in bed with Disney, number 1, which tells you a lot of shit they have on the shelf right there. And 2, they decided to get in bed with politics, okay? Big mistake. That's why they're losing fans. That's why they're losing fans. That's why they're losing money. And that's also why they're losing anchors. When I created Arena Sportsnet in 2013, I vowed I would never get into politics. If y'all only knew how many times I have been asked to air ads by local politicians, I told them all, kiss my ass. I'm not involved in politics. I never will be involved in politics. ESPN's mistake, in aside of letting the wrong anchors go, is the fact that they're paying billions of dollars to cover sports that they could have covered for free and gotten $1 billion back from all the advertisements, because they're supposedly the king of sports, at least until Arena Sportsnet takes over in 2 years' time. As far as Fox Sports 1 goes, that's Colin Cowherd territory, and I can't stand that sumbitch worse. I can't stand that sumbitch worse than I can't stand the Chicago Cubs, if that tells you anything. Y'all know my hatred for the Chicago Cubs, okay? Let me put it another way. Let me think. Frank, let me take you back to 1989, okay? I can't stand FS1. I can't stand FS1 more than I can't stand the bad boy Detroit Pistons. Does that tell you anything? And as far as some people that want to see me fail in doing what I do, not gonna happen. Got the right people supporting me. So to all those people that love leaving comments on my Facebook page, on my website, and on any other social media that I'm involved with, and Josh, I think you and Frank know the person that I'm talking about.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah, I'm not even going to mention this name. So to that person and the group that he has since formed of people that were in my life once upon a time, and all they want to do is just see me fail. You know what? Shut up, eat a dick, and kiss my ass. All right, I'm done.
You know what? I gotta say this. When it comes to baseball,
last night.
One mic at a time. You
know, I gotta say this. When it comes to baseball, I actually love, and I mean love, watching MLB Network. That channel is pure awesome. Not to mention,
it's pure baseball. That's what it is. It's pure.
Hey, Snowman, they're gonna love this. I have Xfinity. And on Tuesday night, I got the Cubs Dodgers MLB Network showcase game. For some reason, Xfinity did not black it out, so I got to hear Bob Costas call baseball. And I can listen to that guy talk baseball all day.
Baseball is, for me, the sport that I fell in love with, and it should have been the first sport that I called. I didn't call a baseball game until I want to say 1999, when I was first getting started. I called my first basketball game and my first event in 1995. baseball should have been the sport I should have called first. And I apologize to you guys for missing the last couple of weeks. My job is getting on my nerve, but I'm dealing with it. Josh, you know how I feel. Frank, I know you know how I feel. And Sean,
absolutely.
And Sean, you too. Let me be real here for a moment. Since we're doing rants and we're approaching the top of the hour, let me be real here, okay? Anyone who listens to my show, Snowman in the Morning, knows I always close the show with, if your dreams don't scare you, then they are not big enough. Well, my dreams are frightening the piss out of me, but I'm to the point now at 46 where I really don't care. I'm chasing every one of them, and I'm going to catch every one of them. As much as I razz with you guys here on the show, and you guys call into my show and give me the same shit, I love you guys for the simplest of reasons. You guys have stood in my corner. That you'll continue to stay in my corner, and I got you guys' back all damn day long. Okay? There was a period of time where Josh and I didn't talk for almost 2 years because of something stupid that I did. I admit to that. I dug deeper into that conversation that we had, and I reached out to Josh and I said, you know what, buddy? You're right. And I almost let a friendship be ruined because of my stupidity. There are some people in this world and some people that are in my life that want to ruin a friendship because of their stupidity, and they won't stand up and say what needs to be said. And as Josh said earlier, they won't call a spade a spade. And yes, I'm getting a lot off my chest right now, but I've held this in. I've spoken to my wife about this. She's let me vent. You guys let me vent. Let me just get this off my chest. I know I have a full-time job right now, but it's fucking disgusting. It's fucking disgusting, and I hate it, and I'm trying to get out as fast as I can. If it involves me taking an opportunity working from home, which is what I'm working on right now, just got to figure out the materials I need, so be it. I'll deal with not having a paycheck for 3 weeks as long as when that first one comes in from this new opportunity that I'm looking at, it's enough to cover some bills, it's enough to give us a little extra, and it's enough to make my marriage official come June 25th of this year, because I'm tired. I am absolutely tired of seeing my wife struggle to keep her emotions in check. I'm tired of struggling to keeping my emotions in check. And Sean, you and I have spoken about this over the phone about keeping our emotions in check. It's the toughest thing as a man to do, because men have been, and I'm going way off the rails here, forgive me, because men in society have been taught to keep everything below the surface. You're a man. You're supposed to be tough. You're supposed to be able to deal with this. That's bullshit. That's and Josh, this is for you, and I know you're gonna get a smile out of this. That's some grade A homogenized Holstein Cleveland Cavalier Boston Bruin bullshit. All right, but I got Charlotte that way. Let me finish. I did that. I did that to get a laugh out of you guys, which is the biggest reason why I love coming on with you guys. We get laughs from each other. We talk shit to each other. But in this era, in this day and age, you don't see a band of brothers like this keep it real with each other, keep it honest with each other, and be there for each other. Period. That's something ESPN. Go ahead. Go.
That's also some Russell Westbrook bullshit too. If we can add that.
You know something. Okay, Sean, this is for you. I did a rant Monday and Wednesday on Snowman in the Morning, and Josh, you caught part of it, about Russell Westbrook and all the bullshit that people have spoken about him being a top 10 player. Let Tuesday night's finish in Portland, Oregon, destroy that argument once and for all, because I knew after 2012, Russell Westbrook is not a top 10 player. He ran Kevin Durant out of town. He ran Serge Ibaka out of town. He ran James Harden out of town. Now, people want to say, oh, it's because of the money in the cabinet. That's bullshit. Nobody wants to play with Russell Westbrook. And Paul George forced himself into a 4-year contract because the Lakers wouldn't come after him. And I wouldn't go to the Lakers either. Russell Westbrook is a bullshit player. He's a stat patter. He's a stat patter. He's a stat chaser. And 3 straight years of averaging triple doubles. Let me ask you a question. How many of those triple doubles were pure triple doubles, like Magic Johnson used to get, like Michael Jordan used to get, like all the players that got pure triple doubles because of pure unadulterated competition? How many of those triple doubles that Russell Westbrook had are pure? None. Okay? I'll say it, and I mean it. None. Ain't a fucking triple-double that Russell Westbrook has had over the past 3 seasons has been real. He's pushed teammates out of the way. He's pushed opponents out. He's pushed opponents out of the way, all because he's a stat patter. He's not a champion. He never will be a champion. He was horrible at UCLA, and he's horrible 12 years in to Oklahoma City. Period. Russell Westbrook, you're done. Hang up your shoes and retire, and let's get back to having basketball. I'm not even. Josh, you're going to be so proud of me. I'm not even watching the playoffs this year. Golden State or no Golden State. I'm not watching. I'm not watching any highlights. I'll make my opinions from what I see. I don't give 2/5 of a half of a fuck about the NBA right now because the purity of the NBA is gone. Period.
I second that.
The person who started that was LeBron James. End of story. Say what you want about his 16 years in the NBA. Say what you want about the supposed championship he brought to Cleveland. The only time LeBron James won a championship on pure unadulterated ability was 2013. And the reason for that is because he allowed Eric Spoelstra to coach him. He hasn't allowed anybody else to coach him. He won't allow anybody else to coach him. I don't give two shits about LeBron James right now. I don't care about the NBA. I'm not watching the NBA playoffs. I have lessened my talk about the NBA until it decides to get back to being a pure competitive league, which is eliminating the one and done rule and allowing college kids that actually have some sense to come into the NBA. Y'all can kiss my ass. I'm done. Period.
Drop the mic.
Drop the mic. I love it.
Because I've said on my show for 2 years now. I've said it for 2 years. The NBA is obsessed with two things: stars and stats. That's it. That's why James Harden wins the MVP. Giannis Antetokounmpo, who can't shoot worth a shit, is going to be considered for MVP. Russell Westbrook, dear God, don't get me started. LeBron James, oh God, don't get me started again. I love you, Andrew, but this is the truth. This is the God's honest truth. Until we see teams like the Celtics of the 80s, Bird, Parrish, and McHale, Lakers of the 80s, Magic Johnson, James Worthy, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, until we see teams like the Bulls of the 90s, Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Dennis Rodman, or Horace Grant, until we see teams, okay? Listen to me carefully, y'all. Until we see teams that actually care about winning a title. This is why I'm on every other team in the NBA, because the NBA is the ones that want to take Golden State down. Remember that bullshit flagrant foul called before Game 5 of the NBA Finals 3 years ago? That started my divorce from the NBA, because if someone can go to the league office while a game is not in motion and complain about a flagrant foul that should have been called that wasn't originally called on the floor, you lost me as a fan. I'm sorry.
Period. I want to add this on really quick before Snowman leaves.
I agree.
What I'm excited for the draft tonight, personally, is the expose that media members should not be put in front office positions. This weekend, Mike Mayock gets exposed. Period.
And the guy fired the entire scouting staff.
Why is Mike Mayock in a managerial position in the front office of a team that's so damn bad they're gonna leave it? They're gonna leave at the end of this year. It's bullshit to me. It's absolute bullshit to me. I hate it. I absolutely and I'm getting a lot off my chest here. I absolutely abhor it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. And there's no reason why it cannot be corrected. The NBA will never be corrected because they don't want to correct what they're doing. Period. All right.
Hey, Snowman, I got something for you to pick up your spirits.
Service announcement, and we're 4 minutes late.
Oh, let me do it. This is the Herd, wherever you may be and however you may be listening. I'm a jackass streaming live on FM and stream all over the world on iHeartMedia, Fox Sports Radio, and all other bad networks.
But see, let me, Sean, before you do your intro, and I don't have the sounds available to me, unfortunately. I'm on the road right now. I got a question.
You like that, Russell?
How do these schmoes? Hey, I love me some Bill Russell. Okay, Bill Russell was one of the greatest centers to ever play the game.
Amen.
Why is it? I got a question. Why is it that these schmoes that are sitting in chairs right now that should belong to us, getting an opportunity to talk sports, giving millions and millions and millions of dollars over the people that actually know what the bloody fuck is going on. And I mean that locally and nationally. I'm from Chicago. I've heard bad sports talk for 20 years. Okay? I've heard bad sports talk for 20 years, especially when the Score decided to flip their programming and bring the wrong people to save Lawrence Holmes to their station. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. Don't get me started on ESPN Chicago. Save Jonathan Hood. Okay, don't get me started on that.
Please get started on it.
I leave Jonathan Hood out of this equation when it comes to ESPN. I love the Hood, okay? I love Jonathan Hood. I leave him out of this equation. But everybody else is on that station thinking they know sports is some bullshit. They don't. They're fed. They are force-fed an opinion from the higher-ups in Bristol, Connecticut, and it's shoved down that's all they sound like. Meanwhile, folks like Josh and myself and Sean and Andrew and Frank, who actually know what the hell's going on and actually decide to dive deep into a subject, are turned away. I know I've been turned away from radio jobs before. I know Josh has been turned away from radio jobs before because we actually know what the bloody fuck we're doing, period.
Amen to that.
Hey, Snowman, you know what? Pick up your spirits tonight. You have your waterfall and put some Johnny Gill Game Changer in the background.
I already got my game changer. I'm fine. I already got my game changer. I know
the best of all time.
I challenge that, and I do this in honor of my pops. Anything by Luther Vandross is a fucking game changer, okay? And that's what we use. I got people here, and I love it. I got people here looking at me when I went off on the NBA. I had people here looking at me going, "Huh?" Because these are people that listen to my show and they know, what I analyze. But to the NBA, before we get started with Skippy Bayless, and I'm probably gonna have to leave here in 10 minutes. Let me just put this out there, and I know Sean's gonna agree with it. I know damn well Frank and Josh are gonna agree with it, and I know Andrew's gonna agree with it as well. I know you guys would agree with what I'm gonna say.
Lay it on us.
I use the date of June 14th, 1998. That was when Michael Jordan hit the game-winning shot to beat Utah 87-86. That was the final shot. I don't count the Wizard years. That was the final significant shot that Michael Jordan took in the NBA. And since then, the NBA has gone down the fucking toilet. It's gone down. It's gone down the toilet. Because it's in the words of Bob Costas, its supreme artist was gone. MJ sank that shot, and I cried. Everybody in Chicago cried for two reasons. One, it gave us our 6th championship, and two, anybody who's anybody in the city of Chicago knew that was his last shot in a Bulls uniform.
Yeah, exactly. I did too.
That was his last shot.
Yeah, you're right.
Think about real quickly the best of enemies, Celtic Lakers 1980s. Yes. That was great because they said if you look at the NBA from 1979 all the way to 1998, what an era!
That's a golden era. It's a golden era, baby.
Boston Garden, the forum.
Then we have this overrated NBA basketball player, LeBron James.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
Yeah, thinks he's the best player than any other player. And Josh and Snowman and Frank and I'd even say Browning, we could come up with the top 25 list that have LeBron James as one of the greats.
I could name so many players. Go ahead. Go ahead, Sean.
When LeBron won those championships, he didn't win them. Other players bailed him out. He was lucky to have won 3 championships.
Ray Allen, Kyrie Irving, Chris Bosh.
Exactly.
Are people so stuck on? Oh, I got a question, and I know this is going to make Josh very happy because no one else will have the nerve to ask this question, and here it is. as far as the NBA goes, are people so stuck on stats that they don't see that the quality of NBA basketball has been flushed down the toilet since 1998?
Yes.
Can I get a witness?
Yes.
Can I get a witness here?
Yeah. I got breaking news real quick. Breaking news.
All right.
49ers are shopping Solomon Thomas, the guy that they drafted.
I knew it.
The pick
I knew it.
Oh, by the way, for every host that you were mentioning earlier from all the different stations here.
Yes.
So much for John Lynch fleecing Ryan Pace, because it's the other way around right
I give
now.
it. Yeah. The 49ers are getting fleeced big time unless they do what I think they're going to do tonight. We'll see what happens.
You guys,
Josh, I got it.
As far as the draft's concerned,
say it again.
You have anything in particular you're looking forward to as far as the draft this weekend?
Being honest, I don't know. I dove in with the guests that I had on my show, but I really haven't had a chance to look. This is like the first year I've been draft involved in about 5 years because there's so much shit going on around me. But I think Kyler Murray is going to fall in the draft. I think Kyler Murray's going to fall. Because if the Arizona Cardinals take him, they're stupid. And he's also not the best quarterback in the draft. The best quarterback in the draft's out of Duke. That's Daniel Jones.
You know, we were talking about this earlier, Snowman. I feel like the Cardinals are becoming like Browns as far as dysfunction is concerned.
Yep.
You fire your coach after one season, and you're going to trade away a quarterback you actually traded up for the season prior. It makes no sense.
None whatsoever. It makes you wonder. It makes you wonder why they're thinking the way that they're thinking.
And I said this earlier during my rant. Anybody that's saying that Patrick Mahomes is the next Joe Montana needs to lay off the crack.
Wait, what?
I heard on the
Somebody
NFL
said
Network.
what?
I heard on the NFL Network that Patrick Mahomes is the next Joe Montana and already put him in the Hall of Fame.
Who the fuck told that lie?
James Jones.
Okay, here's my backup question. Who the fuck is James Jones?
The guy that needs to stay off the weed.
He used to play with the Packers.
That explains everything right there. He played with the Packers. There's my answer to my question.
Stay off the weed.
Oh, man.
But let me answer your other question, Josh. I think Kyler Murray's going to fall, and I don't think the 49ers are going to take Nick Bosa like I originally thought. I think they're going to go with either Josh Allen out of Kentucky or Quinnen Williams out of Alabama. This is why they're shopping Solomon Thomas. Solomon Thomas has underperformed. He has underperformed when he was such a high draft pick out of Stanford. Mm-hmm. Quinnen Williams or Nick Bosa, Quinnen Williams or Josh Allen out of Kentucky can fill that role immediately, pair up with Dee Ford, and still make the 49ers what I think this year will be a very formidable defense.
Do you have any pick for the Bears as far as running backs are concerned?
If he falls in their lap, I would say Miles Sanders.
I was about to say the same thing. I
would say Miles Sanders. Miles Sanders is the best running back no one's talking about in the draft. Mm-hmm. I just hope he doesn't fall to the Raiders. I don't want the Raiders to get another running back.
I'll take him or Darrell Henderson from Memphis.
Henderson, either one could fit the Bears offense because you got Tariq Cohen, the human joystick. All you got to do is get like a bruising runner, which Jordan Howard was. So either Miles Sanders or Henderson out of Memphis would be a good pick.
Any final words, though, man, before you had to head out this week?
No, I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, so I gotta get out of here, y'all. I gotta pick up my wife. Oh man, thank you guys so much. I'm sorry I couldn't do a full show. I will soon when I get my home studio set up and when I get all this other stuff in place. I will have a full show with you guys. I love you guys. I thank you, and I got to get out of here.
We got your back, buddy. We got your back.
All right. We'll pick up this draft stuff after the bash hour is over with.
Help me!
You act like an adult.
But this guy drives me nuts.
Sean,
look at the way he was moving his arms like that. Like a bushwhacker.
You drive me nuts, but you don't see me going on.
Hey, Sean, were you a fan of the Bushwhackers back then?
Oh, no.
Oh, my gosh.
All right, Sean, do the intro.
Yeah, boy.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, where a bash hour is expected to get blown out of proportion. We got one boy out there in Kentucky who's ready to laugh like he always has. He's trying to get us some Kentucky. Yeah, make sure you get us some Kentucky Derby tickets. Sean teasing. Got Frank right here. We got Josh. It's 12:15 p.m. on the East Coast, which is 9:15 a.m. on the West. And of course, if you figure it out for if you live in the Central, figure it out for yourself. Yep. It is the Skippy Bayless Bash Hour.
And then
what?
You know something? No man finds that song, or I find it. Listen to the song. Don't be just interrupting the song. We got to get.
I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear anything produced by Nash Carey. Okay. No.
Oh, I see.
All right. You got an important question for us today, do you?
How many my's do we have today?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have a Craig Kimbrough level.
Oh yeah.
We have 46 my's.
Help me.
Call corrected.
Great. What was that you just said, Frank? Oh my gosh.
Sean, if you really can't stand this, why don't you just think of pie?
You know, Sean. Oh God, Frank. That's a good one. I'll give you that.
There's got to be some quotes in there for Browning and for Frank and for Josh. Oh, great. Here we go.
You know what? Sean would be a good independent wrestling character, like a manager. he would get a lot of heat.
Yep.
Oh, jeez. Here we go. I wonder what this dweeb is going to say today.
All right, here we go. Skip into the mic.
Gosh, why don't I even try anymore? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you get the point.
My New England Patriots will trade Julian Edelman to the San Francisco 49ers for a draft pick.
No!
I'm telling you, man, he's a bushwhacker fan. Bushwhacker fails his arms.
That is awful. No, Julian Edelman's not going anywhere. Julian Edelman was at the Bruins game a few days ago. He loves Boston. He's a legend. He's the Super Bowl MVP this year. Come on. What's back?
Come on right here.
Browning, Josh, quit stealing my lines. Browning, zip your lips.
Sean, act like a 32-year-old.
Hey, Sean, are those lines copyrighted?
Oh, yeah, we could get sued.
Yeah, that's copyright. I've been trying to say that to you guys for the last few years. Quit that or it's copyright. Next quote. That was awful, Skip, for you to say that. He'll not go to San Francisco. And I know Snowman just loved that, to see Julian Edelman as a 49er.
All right.
What's the next quote?
Next one. Skippy Bayless said that my Boston Bruins will be swept in the next round of the playoffs.
Playoffs?
You gotta let the moment breathe.
Wait, they do play. Sean, man, you need to. Sean, goodness.
Well, that's awful. That's not going to happen. How can you say such a thing? We're not going to get swept by the Blue Jackets.
Wait,
and you know what, dude? I don't want anybody to talk to me because I'll be in deep mourning. I'll be really upset and physically emotional.
Sean, I like talking to you most of the time anyway.
Oh, jeez. Next quote. What is it, Josh? These two quotes. That was just awful.
No, they weren't.
Okay, next one.
You know what, Browning? Stuff.
This one's for Browning.
Oh yeah, here we go.
It's only fair for Browning because he likes to troll a lot, and it's okay. At least he admits it. Yeah. Hey, is that a Macho Man T-shirt you're wearing, by the way, Browning?
Yep.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Oh, wait, that is cool. Hey, I love it, Browning. That's awesome.
Yeah, nice one, Browning. At least it's not. I thought it was going to be a Bumpers Bowling T-shirt.
You got a good taste of fashion, dude.
By the way, when I really saw that that news about the Solomon Thomas thing, I had the big sigh because every media member that night said that the 49ers fleeced the Bears when they got Mitch Trubisky. Well, how about now, you dumb motherfuckers?
Yeah.
Oh, how you draft Trubisky before Mahomes? How you draft him before Watson?
Sunday night at Soldier Field in December. We'll find out.
Mm-hmm. All right, here we go. Next one is for Browning. Sit back to the mic.
Why?
Yeah, you get the point, dude. You get the point.
He's mad. He's mad. My Philadelphia Eagles will trade their entire draft picks for Dak Prescott.
Oh my gosh!
Oh, you know what, Frank? That's a good one.
Because let me tell you something, Frank. You can send all these pictures you want. I don't even have to open it up. Yeah, hey, Sean, you might need Browning because
Sean, you remind me of Patty Bear. You remind me of this. You remind me of Patty Bear. This is what you remind me of.
Yeah, hey Browning. Yeah, why don't you get yourself a Dak Prescott jersey? Not like he's going to be a whole bunch of help anyway.
Hey, Sean, why don't you get some?
Let's see if they don't need any help because they beat the Patriots 2017 still.
Hey, Sean, why don't you focus on pie and not Patriot strudel?
Oh God.
Hey, Frank, I figured out last night. I was thinking in bed. I was like, you know, when we do the shows from here on out, I don't even have to look at Frank's pictures when I have my troll little laugh. So so pooey on both of you.
What? Hey, bro, you and I should just do a show where for like 5 hours we go and you go and then and I go, what?
Yeah, except there'll be no audience. I'll be out doing something else.
It's true. It's true.
Next.
It's damn true. All right, let's get back to the mic.
Yeah.
Back to Sean. Skinny Bell said that Zendaya Chara is the most overrated hockey player in the NHL today.
He's got one Stanley championship. Jeez. I like the thing, Z. Zdeno's got a chance there, Skippy, to win another championship this year. And I would be so happy to do it because it's been 8 long years. And I had to live with the pain of 6 years ago of losing to the Blackhawks.
Oh my goodness, it's just a sport event. Well, you're a pain? Goodness. You know,
did you need therapy over it?
Yeah, did you need good therapy over it?
That series was big. If we didn't play sloppy defense, we would have won the game 6 and would have beaten Chicago.
If my mother had balls, she'd be my father. How about that?
Sean, let me ask you. Sean, you didn't have to dial 911 that night, did you?
You didn't. I was pretty angry. You didn't want to be around me after the game got over.
That was a great night.
I hated having to watch the stinking Blackhawks celebrate with having the cup on our home ice. That was
wait, your home ice? Wait.
I got to admit, Frank, that was my favorite championship out of all 3 of them.
Dude, it was the most clutch. It was the most. I'll say this. It was the most clutch.
Cut it out.
My favorite going up though. My favorite was the first. I mean, how can you not have emotions over the first Philadelphia?
Well, here's the thing: they're in Philly, and I have a disdain for Philly as a city as a whole. So, I was like, can the Hawks just get out of the city as quick as possible?
Yeah, true. Hey, you know what? Going up. It's like the Cubs in Cleveland. Can they get out of Cleveland immediately?
That reminds me. Okay, then here we go. We can take a couple more trips, Josh, Frank, and Browning, and Snowman, and Justin, and I. Let's go to Philadelphia. Let's go to Cleveland and go and look around there. Go see.
Yeah, let's go to places that pisses Josh off. Let's go to places that piss me off.
Hey, Sean, I dare you to live in Roselawn. Yeah, Sean, you might want to get bulletproof glass, dude. If you live in Roselawn, you might want to get bulletproof everything.
Yeah.
But I got to say this too. Bayless, I am sure you don't even know how to tie up an ice skate after you said that comment about Chara. Don't mess with the big Z now. He's one of my favorites. They know Chara is.
Next, here we go. Sean will need bulletproof shoes, bulletproof vest, bulletproof windows, bulletproof everything.
Frank, what's it, dude?
What was I going to mention here?
I don't know. What were you going to mention?
I hate when this happens. I was about to say something while Sean's going on a soliloquy. I was going to add on to this. I got now. It has to do with related. So I hear all the time about Tom Waddle and Sylvie saying that the 17-minute rain delay in Cleveland was like something out of Disney or something. I'm like,
Disney?
17 more minutes to waste time in Cleveland is like a nightmare for me. That ain't Disney. It's not Disney. I don't care that the game was going in extra innings. Still, more time you got to waste in Chitlin.
Well, you know what? Okay, glowing up. Look at the bright side here. At least something great came out of Cleveland.
I don't know. I thought that was like a consolation prize to Chicago more than anything.
But come on, Josh. There's waterfall. There's Lake Erie. There's the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. There's all kinds of stuff.
I'm sure there's some freaks in Cleveland that offer their waterfall, but I don't know if they have good waterfall out there. I mean, there's a difference here.
You gotta check out there.
They're happy because they got one championship, and the Indians ended up losing to the Cubs in the
My New England Patriots are going to trade Tom Brady to the Cincinnati Bengals.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard of in my entire life. There is absolutely no way that Tom Brady, GOAT, Browning, keep your mouth quiet before I have to put you on mute. Now, I have to say this, too. There is no way that you're going to trade arguably the best quarterback that's ever played the game, and that's the GOAT, who's been to 9 Super Bowl championships, has broken a bunch of records, has a chance to win his 7th Super Bowl championship this year. Don't be ever saying that about the GOAT. Otherwise, me and a bunch of Patriot fans will come and beat you, Skip. Next.
Okay, beat you. How are you going to do this, Sean? Are you going to do it in a street fight? Are you going to do it in a steel cage? How are you going to do it, dude?
All right.
I could have a steel cage match and beat him up and then put Skip Bayless in the old home.
I've been waiting for Sean to punch the pillows so I can do attention warmer shoppers. Frank, you could join me on this as well. So here comes the next stuff. It's coming, trust me. Here we go. Skip Bayless said the Mai.
Yeah, Mai's right.
This quote does involve Frank as well because it involves the cuts. Here we go.
No, I'm not going to go off, Sean. Watch how I handle it.
Oh, it involves both of you, actually. This is
okay. Well, watch how I handle it. Watch how I handle it. Go ahead, Glory. I'll play it on me, dude.
Skip Bayless said that my Boston Red Sox are going to trade Mookie Betts to the Chicago Cubs for Addison Russell.
I don't like that trade. After all, we do have.
Bye.
After all, we do it.
Go ahead, Frank. Go ahead and do it.
Oh, no, I thought you were doing it. Okay, I'll do it. Fine. Attention, Walmart shoppers. Attention, Walmart shoppers. Repeat. Attention, Walmart shoppers. We have a guy in the meat aisle. This is a super Walmart, by the way. We have a meat aisle. We have a guy beating the meat. We have a guy beating the meat. Please report to the sporting goods store. We need guns. Repeat, report to the sporting goods store. We need guns. Take the subject out. Repeat, take the subject out.
What are you doing?
I don't know.
It's probably like the super Walmart, whatever you said was hilarious, and then.
Dude, you know what I should have said? You know what I should have said? Attention, super Walmart shoppers! Attention, super Walmart shoppers!
Oh my God! Oh God, I'm dying laughing right now. Holy
I cannot believe what I didn't
believe it.
Browning, shut up!
How you say such a thing?
How can you say such a thing? You can't get rid of Mookie Betts. Mookie Betts was the MVP last year. He was great. He's not going anywhere.
You don't want
him.
Why wouldn't you want him on the Cubs though?
I wouldn't. I like Javi. Javi's good enough for me.
And I think Frank would have a connection fit by himself.
No, I won't, Sean, you obviously don't know me very well. For me to say I would have a fit. Come on.
Oh, that was. You saw the reaction with Pelos, and my eyes were just.
Yeah, but Sean, listen, Sean. Can I say this? I know I'm not an intelligent guy. Lord knows I'm not. But at least I have common sense to act like my age to a degree.
Yes.
Like I said, I'm not intelligent. I'll admit that. But I'm not going to throw pillows or beat the meat and all that stuff.
I got another one. I got another one that make a punch more pillows.
Oh no! Oh no! Help me!
Yeah.
What?
This one,
collected.
This one involves me and Brownie because we're White Sox fans. Here we go.
No boy.
Skip Best and mine.
Yeah, you get the point.
My Boston Red Sox will trade Chris Sale to the White Sox for Ivan Nova.
Oh,
I'll bet that's cool.
Oh,
here we go.
Oh my God.
Attention, Walmart shoppers. Super
Walmart.
Attention, Super Walmart shoppers. We got a young man who's losing his mind. He's at any moment he could fall himself in the casket. Watch out, ladies and gentlemen. He has rabies. Repeat, he has rabies. Get the subject. Repeat, get the subject.
That's the.
Oh my God, dude, it's right, Brownie. Oh my goodness, it's right.
Oh my gosh, I did not want to hear that. Chris Sale not leaving. He just signed an extension. How can you say such a thing? That's ridiculous. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard of in my life. Oh, give me a break with this.
How's it possible?
Hey, Brownie, have you ever seen a 32-year-old act like this?
That's ridiculous. I can't believe I heard such a thing. Next quote. Get to Browning or somebody. I can't believe that. Oh, God dang.
God, what'd you... Oh, God bless America. God bless America and Canada, dude.
Oh, my God.
Please tell me you're not crying.
Yeah, right, dude, please.
I'm upset. I mean, that's not the right thing to say. And just my favorite baseball team like that.
I feel like meeting you, but I'm not going to do that because I have more manners, I guess you could say, than that, dude.
Our buddy Justin Hill is going to be crying laughing listening to this back right now.
The next thing I need is that guy from Justin in Miami to. Oh no, he's gonna. I know he'll be back laughing.
Yeah, he probably knows by now you like Patriots strudel.
Oh, that's Frank. Get off the Patriots strudel talk. Get to the next quote. Here we go.
Oh, and I'm sure you wish you could have had some after the Super Bowl win against the Rams.
Oh God, Frank.
Oh, well, actually, it didn't matter. I was partying. I celebrated by myself, and I was partying.
Oh my goodness! Oh God, son! Oh dear Lord! Oh my God! I'm gonna throw up. Oh my God!
Yeah. All right, put yourself on mute, Frank. Go throw up.
Oh dear Lord! I don't want to know what you were doing.
So Frank's going to put himself on mute, and because he's kind of sick. But there has to be one for Browning again.
The last one was for Brian because it's a positive one for both of us.
Okay.
All right. Next one is for you. Here we go.
British jabroni.
Strictly for Sean.
What? I thought it was for Browning.
No, I just said the last one we talked about Chris Hill was a positive one for Browning.
Yeah, well, Browning needs the help because he knows his Philadelphia Eagles will be going down the tubes again.
Yeah, well, you know what?
About this? Skip Bayless said that
Yeah, boy.
Yeah.
My New England Patriots will trade up to get the #1 pick and get Kyler Murray as the quarterback.
Well,
they're a top prospect.
I'm going to be cool on this one because of
course you are.
Let him be cool. Let him be cool. He needs to learn.
I do know that the Pats will be just fine with having a backup quarterback. So when after Brady retires, more of the New England Patriots' success will continue to keep on going and going and going.
What, the Energizer? Were you the Energizer Bunny? This is going to keep going and going.
The Energizer Bunny. I mean, there's plenty of energy inside of me and stuff.
Rick, I got one for you, buddy.
Sure, go ahead. Where are you, Jabroni?
Skip Bayless said that Anthony Rizzo will be the next David Ortiz.
Hey, you know what that means?
So lame. That is ridiculous.
You know what that means? Hey, Sean.
Hey, this is Frank's quote.
Sean. He didn't say he's going to be better than Ortiz. You know what, though? I'll say this about Rizzo. The one thing I've always liked about Rizzo in his time with the Cubs is his ability to get on base. That is the hallmark of Anthony Rizzo's game with the Cubs. He gets on base, and I mean, we saw yesterday, and it was part of the reason why it led to the 3-run homer for Baez. Rizzo has meant a lot to this organization. He was there when they were bad. He's the longest running Cub. I've enjoyed Anthony Rizzo. How can you not?
Right. Okay, here we go. See what better said to mine.
Yeah.
Humana. Oh, yeah, I forgot. It's for Sean. Here we go.
Oh, geez.
See what better said that the Patriots will trade Dante Hightower to the Chicago Bears.
God, I don't want to see your big butt. Oh, for the love of God, please don't stand up again.
Oh my God!
In fact, I'm gonna put it on. Oh my God!
Walmart shoppers, attention super Walmart shoppers. This young man is on the verge of shooting himself.
Dear Lord, Sean!
He's gonna shoot himself.
Sean, dear Lord! Hey, you know what going on?
Watch out! This is gonna be a very graphic scene, ladies and gentlemen. Watch out! Guts will be spilled all over the produce aisle. Repeat, watch out for the produce aisle. It's gonna happen. No,
yeah, man.
Oh, this is so sad. Why does he have to mention these trades to make me feel bad? To have my
God bless, oh my God. God bless America and Canada. Sean, goodness God almighty, dude.
And then
I love it during the dash hour because Frank's just asked to try to overreact and get all upset about how I feel about Skippy.
Sean, he's just a human being. Sean, who do you have more hatred for, Skippy or the president?
Both.
No, you can only pick one. I said, who do you more?
Well, I got to go with the guy who lies every day in the White House, which is Trump.
Ooh. What president doesn't lie every day in the White House? What person doesn't lie every day, dude?
Just remember, folks, the whole Mueller report is picking up steam to get him removed from office.
It's Mueller time!
It's Mueller time.
You know, it's Mueller time.
I haven't done it in a while. I haven't done a presidential quote in a while.
Oh, no. Oh, great. Here we go. This is, this is awful. Here we go.
I think you might flip over his chair after this.
Please, this chair would be expensive. I have to go pay for a new chair and go down to Staples.
Could you imagine Skippy became president?
Skippy Bayless said that Donald Trump will become the temporary owner for the New England Patriots while Robert Kraft deals with
that is so ridiculous.
What?
Man, you need a haircut. Bang!
Look, the hair is just fine. I don't need to get a haircut for a while. Now, even though I go to cost cutters and my hair gets washed and the barbers are really great there when I go to get a haircut. Browning one day will need to go get himself a haircut. So will Josh and so will Frank.
No, I got my haircut last week.
Okay, well, remember to go to cost cutters and get it. Unless you
have a barber? Yes, I do.
And Skip Bayless, there's no way that Trump will ever become owner of the Patriots. Please, that would make me throw up. That would make me sick. Makes me sick even thinking about it.
How do you say such a thing?
Again, copyright. You can't. You got to come up with your own.
And then
Frank, what the heck is this picture that you just sent? Oh my God! All right, again, I'm going to be cool, calm, and collected because I'm not going to open up.
Hey,
Frank's
Sean. Hey, Sean, I got to ask you a question. It's like what Kurt Angle used to say, "Where's your gold medals?" Well, let me ask you this question: where are your Patriot jerseys?
It's put away for a little while.
No. I'm talking about custom made. I'm talking about where it says "man" and a number on it.
Oh yeah,
where's yours? You know what? I just laid the smack-it down.
Oh yeah. He has a point there. I have to agree with him. He has a point. Yeah. Josh, is that it for the quotes? This guy has really irked me off today. Holy cow! Jeez.
All right, Skippy Benson and Mike.
Jeez, it goes on and on and on.
Yeah, we have 2 more quotes after this one. We'll be done. All right.
Okay.
Skippy Benson and Mike.
Yeah.
My Boston Red Sox will miss the playoffs mightily.
Playoffs? Yeah, that's right.
You know, with the way things are going now, you never know if it's possible that they don't make the playoffs. They did beat the Tigers 11-4. I was happy about that. Finally, a blowout game because all the close games were not going very well. So he could be a little bit right. They got plenty of time to turn it around.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
They do.
I have plenty of time to get Reese Witherspoon's Waterfall, but I don't know if it'll happen or not.
You guys, and the whole thing with Waterfall. What's up,
Sean? May I inform you that me, the Gluey Hump, and Brownie happen to be heterosexual men here.
Well, I'm single too. I haven't had a girlfriend in a few years.
Wait. Are you sure?
I don't know if that's
you had a girlfriend. I'm sorry.
Frank, that's confidential. Yeah, here we go.
Oh, okay. So you sure it wasn't one of those Bud Bundy blow-up dolls?
Oh God, Frank.
Stupid. Move to the next quote.
Skip us in the mic.
No, I sound like actually one of the air in that.
T-Man said that the Red Sox will trade Rafael Devers to the Chicago White Sox for a future draft.
You know what, Skip? Your head really needs to get examined. You need to really think about what you say before you say it. You're on the air, for Christ's sake. There's no excuse to be talking about my teams like that. That's not a cool thing at all.
Sean, would you get this? Sean, one thing about Sean, this is why I go off on you, because you don't see us rubbing teams, our favorite teams down your throat or anyone else's.
Don't give me that, Sprinkle. I saw that when you had your camera.
Sprinkle, don't call me Sprinkle on this show, dude.
You had to rub your stinking Chicago Blackhawks.
Right, I don't know, Sean.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
You don't see me, Sean. You don't see me making a big deal about my favorite. All right, let's say the Cubs have lost Game 7 of the World Series.
Yeah, I'm going to say this right now. I think a 3-hour debate with Sean and Frank would be just as good as Avengers Endgame.
Fine, you guys pick the topics. You pick the topics.
But Frank, here's the thing. I'll say this right now. Devers is not going anywhere. Frank, drink your coffee. Let's move to the next quote.
Drink my coffee, dude. That made no sense.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. First of all, I already had this morning. Second of all, you just made no sense, dude.
Yeah, but I can right in the camera again.
See, Sean, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about, dude. You gotta
last quote of the day. Watch out, Sean's gonna be pissed. Here we go.
Oh boy.
Skippy Bayless said that Donald Trump is the Ted Williams of presidents.
Donald Trump.
That's a compliment. That's a compliment. Oh, a nice compliment.
It's
punch the pillows.
Hey, Sean, going up. Don't encourage him, dude. No. He's got a.
Attention, super Walmart shoppers. Attention, super Walmart shopper. Repeat, we got a young man who's, I don't know what he's going to do right now, but he better not be showing his rare ass.
Oh.
Oh, jeez, Josh. Whoa. All right. Now, here's the thing I got to say. Donald Trump is the worst president ever. Donald Trump is a narcissist. Donald Trump is a liar. The guy does no political experience. And for all you people that think that he's great, even you Trump supporters,
I'm not.
Please get please get your brains washed. That guy has no class whatsoever.
Frank, are you okay back there?
Yeah. I'm fine. No, dude, I'm fine. What are you asking, dude? I'm fine.
Because I thought you were still laughing back there.
No, I'm fine, dude. I'm fine.
Okay, he was probably in tears after what I said about Trump because he realizes he's a doggone Trumpster, which is so sad in the first place because anybody who supports this person in the White House is bad. Just remember, people, if Trump continues to be guilty, he will be removed from office because of the whole Mueller report. Don't forget that.
Trump supporters are bad. You should like Trump supporters because they're bad. Trump supporters are bad, okay?
All he cares about is himself.
Is that your Trump impression?
No, Gluey Hump, that's my Mr. Mackey impression. Back in the early days of South Park, and South Park's better now, but you were called the drugs are bad. Drugs are bad, okay? Drugs are bad. Okay.
Yeah, all right, I'm glad that's the end of the bash hour. Boy, this guy really got me angry today. Woo, man.
Trump supporters are bad, okay?
We got the number one infrastructure. We got the number one. We got the number one.
I think it's going to be a very, very, very good thing, or it's going to be a really, really, come up with some new phrases, Brian. Good grief.
Oh, my cheekbones are hurting from laughing so much. Oh, shit.
Yeah, Josh will be laughing. When Justin hears this show, he's going to flip out, dying, and laugh, and he won't be able to help himself. Yeah, and Browning's probably been laughing so hard that he wanted to go to the bathroom and stuff too. Not kidding, Browning.
Now I know how Browning feels after shows are over.
Frank, I'm glad I didn't open up your pictures because that should be also prohibited with.
Yeah, you actually did. Wait! You actually did. You did open up one.
I think we learned something important today, folks. Sean is a big connoisseur of strudel. He advocates.
Oh, jeez, Josh! Oh man!
All right, ladies, so let's get to the spoken word before we head out for this week. All right, who wants to go first?
Yes, I'll go. Like I always say, I can only think of one thing. You wake up every morning, consider yourself to have one pretty good life. I spoke of the word of the day as always. God's blessings, one and all.
Brian?
Spoken Word was a good show as always. And shout out again to my boy Chucky soon to Mr. Salvatore himself. And can't wait for In-Game Friday.
What up, Chuck E. Cheese Smooth?
Lovely. What up, Chuck E. Cheese Smooth? Yeah, that's really great. Just kidding.
Yeah, great joy.
Brutal boy, go ahead.
Great show, like Browning and Frank even said. And of course, if you wake up every day, consider yourself to have a great life. Enjoy the weekend, of course, with the NHL playoffs and NBA playoffs. You're not too far away there, Josh, from the Kentucky Derby. I just like busting Josh's chops about the Kentucky Derby because I like to hear his reaction. Josh goes, the last thing I need is to go down to Churchill Downs.
You're right about that.
To watch a bunch of horses race around a track. Well, come on, Josh. There's plenty to eat there. There's probably good food to go eat in Kentucky.
Come on,
Anyway, see you next Thursday, the first in May already. Hard to believe already because April's coming to an end. But keep being happy, keep being cool, and don't let anything get to you.
Don't worry.
Snowman, you all got your back, buddy.
Don't worry. Be happy.
My spoken word of the day goes like this. The past should stay in the past. You should never have enough power to ruin your present and your future. That's my spoken word of the day. And always remember, life is short. Make the best out of it. Nothing's guaranteed for tomorrow. Enjoy your weekend, everybody. I'm going to one of my cousin's communion parties this weekend.
I've been to those.
And Pompeii is a Italian pizza restaurant on Taylor Street.
I've heard, never been.
Yeah, it's really good. So I'm excited to hang out with my Italian side of the family. We are recording episode 153 of the Hoots podcast later on today, so I'm excited for that. And make sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel to get all our previous editions of the Sports Wrap. I want to thank the Snowman for hopping out with us for 15-20 minutes. That was good to catch up with.
Nice.
Make sure to follow the Walmart Boy at Twitter. On Twitter. He's on Twitter now. He's no longer on Facebook. So go find Snowman and you'll find him for him. Make sure to follow the Big Win at Twitter at Big Win Frank. Browning is on Instagram, Browning Master something. I'm on Twitter and Instagram at the Hoops Podcast. Thank you guys so much for checking out episode 215 of the Sports Drive.
Nice.
Enjoy the NFL draft this weekend. And let's hope that the Bruins get off to a slow start in the NHL second round of the Stanley Cup playoffs. For the Snowman, the big bag of wind himself, the Bowling Master, and the Walmart Boy, I am the Gloomy Hump, Josh Lopez. Thank you guys so much for checking out episode 250 of the Sports Drive. We love you guys and have a wonderful rest of your week. Peace.
Later.
Love and understanding.
And
go Bruins.